So when it comes to New World, Aeternum factions are a pretty key and important part of the game. You get introduced to it pretty early on in the game as well, but it's something you don't necessarily have to do. You don't have to really be a part of it, but there's a lot of things that factions will provide, especially toward the end game, that's going to be pretty valuable for you. So in this video, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about all that, and also at the very end, I'm going to show you a very fast way to actually get to maximum status. So that is going to be champion status in New World Aeternum for your faction. So let's get right into the video. All right, so here we are in New World. So whenever you first join the game, like I said, you're going to be introduced to three factions. It's going to be basically the purple team, the orange team, and the green team, right? So the Marauders are the team that I'm currently with. It's going to be the green team, and there's going to be several different tiers. You're going to start off as a soldier at 0 reputation, work your way up to a gladiator, and all these are going to be the same regardless of what faction you choose. They're all the same rank: a Ravager, Destroyer, Commander, and a Champion, right? So these are going to be all the same reputation points. It's going to be the exact same throughout all the different factions that you want to choose from. And in order to increase your rank, you have the option to choose PvE or PvP missions that will essentially give you a certain amount of faction reputation and a certain amount of actual faction tokens. So the faction tokens are used to get and buy rewards. So this is going to be the reward store for your faction, and there's going to be various different things. There's going to be weapons, there's going to be armor, and once you get toward the middle is when you start seeing a little bit more diverse things. I guess over here in the Ravager, there's a couple of unique things, right? So we have the die, and we have the Rune of Holding, Star Metal Chisel, or Chisel, and you have these various mastery caches that will essentially give you experience once you take it to their perspective place to actually harvest for it. But it's really once you start getting to Commander and below is when it starts getting interesting. So Destroyer doesn't really have anything of note, but once you get down over here to Commander, you start getting the legendaries, and now these are going to be crafting materials that are highly important for, you know, crafting different weapons and crafting weapons with specific abilities and crafting weapons that have specific perks on it, and they give you more mastery caches that give you even more experience for whatever you want to do, whether you want to go fishing, skinning, etc. But then once we get to champion is where the real bread and butter is, and this is where the real in-game material is also going to be. So you're able to get gypsum orbs, which are going to be important for, again, leveling your weapon up to maximum. If you have a named weapon and you want to get that weapon to 700 gear score, you're going to need gypsum orbs. Same thing is going to go with chromatic seals, and these are extremely expensive: 19,000 faction tokens and 5,000 coins. So these things are no joke, and they're definitely going to be a lot. And they're also limited, so you can tell which items have a limited amount. And what I mean by limited is you only can purchase one for a certain amount of time. So this one right here is on a 16-hour and 8-minute wait. After you do purchase it, then you're going to have to wait, you know, basically a whole day. So in case of the gypsum orbs, you can buy 3 of these a day, essentially 1 chromatic seal and 1 Azoth extractor. This is one of the most expensive items in the entire, it might be the most expensive item in the entire track, and it's the most important item. This is very key, and it even tells you right there to be able to craft guaranteed 700 gear score items with 3 perks of your choosing, which is pretty much the god tier setup. You can make any weapon that you want as long as you have the crafting for it, or the weapon smithing, however you want to describe it. But this is an extremely important resource. As you can see, 71,000 faction tokens, 25k gold. But of course, there's always going to be something to beat it, and the most important tool or piece of armor or whatever that's in this entire thing is going to be the blacksmith gloves. This is going to almost guarantee that you're going to get top tier items, and this is a key crucial item to have if you want to actually craft a 725, a perfect item. 725, you're going to need these gloves. There's a lot of other things. If you want to see that video, I can try to make a video on that, but this is huge. You definitely need this. It's massively important. So other than all that I mentioned, these are going to be the main reasons why you want to grind all the way up to champion rank. Now, if you do enjoy doing, some of these PvE missions or PvE, you can continue doing this, and you would actually need to continue doing it because this is how you actually get tokens to actually be able to buy things, because you might have the money for it, but if you don't have enough faction tokens, then you won't be able to exchange it. So again, everything in here is dual currencies. You can't just buy things with gold, you can't just buy things with faction tokens, you need them both. That's just the way it works. Pretty easy to get faction tokens, especially if you go and do some of these raids, but I think those take a really long time. And this is where I kind of want to transition the video of how to actually grind through this quickly. If you want to take your time, go through it slowly, then by all means play it how you want to play it. But if you want to just grind through this, if you're already in the end game and you delayed this too much, you just want to get all the way up there, that way you can start getting those chromatic seals, that way you can start getting those Azoth inductors, things like that, these two right here, and the gypsum orbs, of course. Then let me show you one of the best, if not the best way to quickly grind through reputation and to quickly get faction tokens. Now, before getting started with this method, you want to at least be level 40. The area that we're going to be in is going to be Great Cleave, and this area is 41 to 50. So the enemies aren't going to be super difficult, but if you are below 40 or even at 40, it may be a little bit difficult. Ideally, if you're already max level, level 50, at least at the top of it, you should have no problems at all with this method. So once you get to Great Cleave, you're going to go over to this outpost. It's going to be Warden's Rise. It's going to be in the east part of Great Cleave, right over here. And you're going to go ahead and talk to your commander. Now, we're not going to worry about the PvE tracks. Again, these are very good for maybe getting a lot of reputation if they're all in one. So in this case, Empyrean Forge is only here twice, then this one isn't. Then I don't recommend doing it. You could probably select it and then cancel it to try to reproc in another Empyrean Forge, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. What I'm going to tell you is the fastest way. So basically, you're going to pick all the PvPs, and what you're going to notice, and what you would notice here in Great Cleave opposed to every other area, is the square feet that you actually have to travel is not very far at all. So what's going to happen is you're going to go over to 4. This thing can get out of the way. And 4 is going to proc you over to 5, or 4 again, which is going to be up here. And then you're just going to do this cycle right over here and then come back. So it's just going to be one big loop. And there's a lot of important crafting materials on the way that you could kind of passively harvest every go around. Here we go. Just going to show you the route. I think this is the best route I would take. And 100% recommend getting the DLC if you do not have it already. Having a mount makes this infinitely faster. As you can see, you are going to be flagged PvP, so there will be, some people that are running PvP. Generally, though, they're usually the people don't really care too much. They won't really attack you, but that's not guaranteed. So here's the first resource. There's going to be gold veins right there. I went ahead and one-tapped that. That was beautiful. So that is one of the major resources. Gold right now. Gold ingots sell for around $2 to $1.90 in my server currently. I'm not sure what the average is across all servers, but I only can speak for mine. More gold right here. I'm not going to get all this because it's just going to be kind of a waste of time. You get the point, right? More gold right there. There's going to be even more gold if you wanted to. If I can kind of show you right down there, there's going to be a ton of gold. Right, you see them all right there, all the gold deposits, as well as a few chests. So there's a chest there. There's going to be a chest right down there. And there's actually going to be a larger chest right here, which I'll go ahead and get that as well. It's a large stock pile. Boom, we got the stuff, dope. And we're going to get ready to start the first part of the mission. Slowly get up here, and boom. Now we're there. Simply just got to gather the contents. We're doing, I guess you can say, a spy sort of mission. And then, like I said, it's going to go up here, and there it is right there. So now we're just going to simply travel up this road. Again, a mount would make this so much faster. Gonna chug along here. And like I said, again, people are going to be doing this as well. Everybody that does this has to be flagged. If you leave your post, you will lose the mission. If you fast travel, you will lose the mission. The whole point of this is to be able to do this all without any fast travels, any sort of interruptions or anything like that. So you will see people flag, like this guy flagged right there, but he went right past me. And you might get lucky and come across some other, of your fellow faction that may be able to help you in case you do get jumped by the opposing forces out there. So but you also may get unlucky and get jumped by 3. Sometimes people do this together just so they don't get jumped, and sometimes they're douchebags and they just jump other people. So here's going to be the first spot. This is going to be the fiery salamander. That's not their actual name. Let me actually read you the actual name here. I swear on anything I love, I have one. And now I'm getting hit by a goat. Get over here! We're running! Stop running! I guess I don't have one. I swear, maybe I already sold them. I might have already put them on the market. But anyways, it's called fiery salamander or something, a snail, something like that. It's basically a fiery snail. You'll see it right here. It's an epic resource. They sell for a ton of money. In my server right now, they're selling for about 35 to 40 a pop. So pretty good. And you're actually able to get 2 from this run. There we go. Again, another purple guy. Not paying attention to me most of the time. About 80% of the time, they would just ignore you and you ignore them. Obviously, you could go the more PvP route and start piecing people up. But generally, though, none of these guys are real PvP lords. None of them are true PvP brethrens. So a lot of the times you can actually even 2v1 people, you know, if your build is strong enough to be able to do it. I've actually 3v1'd a little group before. Granted, I did die, but I'm pretty sure the last dude died because I put a lot of that bleed on the boy. So yeah, this place you could definitely get cucked. So you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. In this case, I had that fellow green brethren with me. Now, doing this in the way that I showed, getting the specific caches and coming right here, will actually make it to where the third mission that you do here actually completes as you're completing the second one, which is very convenient because then now we're already done and we simply just have to run back to the base and turn in our missions. Otherwise, if you do it in another order, there tends to be about, you know, a 30 to 45 second wait time. I know it's generally like, I think it's 130, but over time. So here we go. Actually, treasure point. Here we go. Salamander snail. Oh my gosh. Get out of here, boy. Salamander snail. So that's what it's called. This is going to be the second place that you will find it, and they are worth a ton of money because they provide you a ton of fire motes. I was looking for the actual physical thing, but I forgot it's literally just the fire motes that you get from it. But you get a ton of them, and those are pretty valuable resources, I would say. Gonna go all the way down here. All right, and then once you land here, simply gonna talk to him, and if you've already done this before, it's the same. You complete it and you get your faction tokens as well as your reputation. Obviously, I'm already a champion. That's the max. I'm not going to get any more. Once you reach champion, all the reputation is obsolete, but the tokens are not. So pretty important. Definitely important. It's also important for Marauder influence during races. So you want to have a good amount of influence if you want to go and actually conquer, start wars with other factions and conquer some territory, right? So pretty important. So when I actually timed my runs, I did several runs, averaged them. They came out to around 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Now keep in mind, I do have my mount for one, and I do have my mount at level 150, I believe. Yeah, we're at 153. So technically it could be faster. Obviously you could be much slower if you don't have your mount actually upgraded as well, your riding upgraded. But so keep that in mind. So around, you can say 3 minutes and 30 seconds per run. So if you went ahead and multiply that for an hour, and you get a total amount of faction tokens, where you get a total faction tokens of 29.95, and you take that across an hour based on this method, you get about 50,519 reputation and faction tokens per hour, which will get you all the way up to level 4, which is going to be Destroyer in this case, based on all the previous, and that will get you over to champion in about a total of 3 hours. So if you just grinded this hard for 3 hours, or maybe just an hour a day, it could take you 3 days to literally just 3 hours if you wanted to do it that way. But this is an extremely fast, very effective method. It's the fastest that I've seen, the fastest that I've done myself. So I definitely and highly recommend y'all doing this if you want to quickly grind up the tree so that you can start getting a lot of these key components, the chromatic seals, the Azoth inductors, and things like that. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like down below. The subscriptions have been awesome lately. I know I've been a little late with content. Just been doing a lot of things. I also been definitely grinding this game more, making sure I understand all the stuff to the T before I actually give you some information. So definitely the subs help out a lot. I appreciate y'all. Leave a comment down below if there's any questions you have that I may have not asked in this video. And guys, I love y'all. Hope you have a great day or night, whatever time you're watching this video. And I'll see you next time.